I gotta get a new camera, Rich.
Yes. What's this? What is this? Mark 3.
Mark 3? Probably fucking Mark 1, brethren.
All the time I got this camera, right?
Have you?
Yeah.
What are you doing with cameras?
I just keep them. I had a 5D. Mark
Is it?
Mark 3, yeah.
What are you doing?
I used to do editing when...
Did you?
Yeah, back in the days. Yeah, when I was in uni, that was my hustle. I used to make money, like.
What?
Yeah, I did an edit. And I showed my teachers, and everybody was doing edits on their phones. They were using their phone cameras. I looked like a professional compared to them. So they hired me to make videos to promote their courses. Yeah, and I learned on Windows Movie Maker. That's back in the days. So yeah, then I learned how to do it on Final Cut.
So I'm here.
Talented.
I was about to say I'm here with a multi-talented Richard Riakporhe, but I have to watch what I say about you because everyone takes it to heart and like they get all upset. Do you know what I mean? And it's like now I have to like be, I don't know, stiff up. I don't know.
Well, just be yourself, man. You know, the haters gonna hate. Everybody's gonna have something to say, regardless.
Did you get your Valentine's message?
No.
You didn't see my special post that I made for you on Valentine's?
Yeah, thank you. I didn't see it, but thanks.
You had a bit of us in it, a bit of Usher and Alicia Keys in it. Yeah.
I'm going to check it out now.
I didn't tag you, to be fair. I just put it up. Just to wind people
really?
up.
Okay.
Because, you know.
I see, I understand.
But anyway, I'm back in Loughborough, back with Richard Riakporhe. Richard, so much has happened, so much is happening. But first of all, how have you been?
I've been good. Just been training. Pretty much the usual, you know. Nothing new. But yeah, just the usual. That's it. Yeah.
I keep seeing you and Chris Billam get in the ring, get outside the ring, talking about you fighting each other, fight signed. Any progress? Can you give us a date? Because I was expecting a date. I think, when was the last card? I can't even remember when it was. But it was like, yeah, they're going to announce the date, and then there was no date. You keep on, it's like you're hyping us up, but you're not giving us anything back, Rich.
I know the fans are waiting for the date. Right now, we're literally in the same position. They've thrown some provisional dates, but I know it's not going to happen on those dates because they're currently locking down the venue, and obviously they have to align it with the broadcaster as well. So everybody needs to be
in sync.
So I guess it should. I think the news should come out maybe within a couple weeks from now. Like that's what I'm predicting. Yeah.
We can talk about that, and I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. I spoke to, in fact, it's a good time actually. I spoke to Shane McGuigan, trainer of Chris Billam-Smith, former trainer of Lawrence Okolie, and he mentioned obviously about this fight being good because, you know, Chris wants to avenge his loss, but he also said he does believe that Lawrence Okolie beats you. If he fights you 10 times, he beats you 10 times. And he sort of alluded to the fact that you are the one that avoids fights. And because obviously I don't know the ins and outs, he kind of caught me off guard. I was even stuttering because I didn't even know what to say. I mean, what is it from your point of view?
I don't know what fights I've avoided. Me personally, myself, like.
Upper
Why would I avoid making money? You know, this is what we do. I'm a professional boxer. You know what I'm saying? This is how we eat. So I can't be avoiding any fights. And Upper it was a lot of things outside of my control. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is that we wanted to fight, and we was actually preparing to fight him. You know, but it didn't materialize. But it can in the future. We'll see where everything pans, you know, how everything pans out in the future. Right now, I got a world title fight against Chris Billam-Smith next. You know, I'm not focused on anything else for now, or anybody else's opinions or chit chat. You know, I could care less.
That fight then he had last with Masternak. I told you I spoke to Masternak. I told you how hungry he was, that he really wanted to win that belt. He wasn't coming to make up the numbers. He wasn't coming to get paid. Talk to us about that fight. You were ringside. I was at home doing a live watch along as per usual, but you were there. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was what I expected. Masanek, I've done many rounds of Masanek, and
Okay.
I think his style was going to be a bit tricky for CBS. He moves a lot. You know, he's got a lot of tricks. He's got a lot of experience in the game, and you know, I thought CBS would do better. Honestly, I thought he would do better whilst the fight lasted. He was definitely down on the cards, and yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. Like after a while, I was losing a bit of concentration. I was on my phone a bit, then I looked up, the fight is over. And I was like, what the hell? But yeah, he got through that one, man. He needed to, you know, or we wouldn't be fighting right now. So I'm happy. I'm happy he won.
Happy about those results. Another one that's in the mix, and somebody that had signed also to have the rematch with Chris Billam-Smith is Lawrence Okoli. But I think it's been suggested now that he's going up to heavyweight, or he's going up in a weight. I mean, your thoughts on that? I guess maybe people didn't want to see the rematch with him and CBS.
They definitely didn't.
Okay. I'm trying to be polite, but yeah.
They did not want to see that fight again. You know, if you go on Twitter and see the comments, gosh, wow, the internet is undefeated. They were absolutely going ham on it. But, you know, it is what it is. It's not happening. So everybody's is celebrating, I guess.
What about you? I remember I spoke to you, I think we were in the other gym when it was getting refurbed.
Yeah.
You were saying that, you know, you want to go for world titles at cruiserweight, but you said if it gets too political, you will literally go up in weight. I remember speaking to you about that, and that was probably a couple of years ago now. Mm-hmm. So when people are saying, oh, he's jumping on the heavyweight wagon, you were one of them that was you were half in that thought in the first place.
Yeah, 100%. I think it makes the more sense. It's always something that I wanted to do, and it's not a surprise to anybody. Like, look how big I am. I'm massive. I'm probably the biggest cruiserweight out there. Apart from Jordan, I'm probably like the same size as that guy, you know. If not in height, then in width and physical like size, you know. And yeah, I think it just makes sense. I think with the heavyweights, it's more exciting. A lot of people watch the heavyweights, and it just takes one punch as well. So I definitely want to be in and around that mix soon. And we're gonna, you know, don't be surprised. One day you might see, like, I've gone up. Don't be surprised.
You mentioned Jordan Thompson there, another fighter that I think I spoke to Frank Smith. He says that he's going to be returning in summer, and that when he returns, he is also going up to heavyweight. There's been a few mixed emotions about that. Obviously, people comment on the YouTube stuff that I do, and a comment that I've seen more than once is they don't think that he's going to be able to absorb the punches at heavyweight because some people believe that he's struggled at cruiserweight. And yet, opinions, everybody's got them. You're a boxer. You know how it works. And I guess I'd probably more value your opinion than I would my own when it comes to the sport, because you're the expert. You're in the ring. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it all depends, because he was quite tall and was quite big, and he was cutting himself down to the cruiserweight limit. Maybe that was taking away his ability to absorb punches, and maybe it's better for him to put on weight, and maybe he'll be able to absorb more punishment. But then, I guess where all this speculation comes in is when he fights the punches at heavyweight, can he absorb? Can he take a shot? You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we would have to wait and see. We have to wait and see to find out if he can or not. Because I guess that's what makes boxing interesting and makes so many people follow, because nobody really knows. I don't even know. I'm a professional boxer, and I haven't seen, you know, Jordan in the gym. I haven't seen him spar heavyweights for me to give you my honest opinion. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Jaya Pataya, we know it's somebody that's quite active in the division. A fight that eventually, yeah, I get it, CBS is the only one that you're thinking about, but we talk about styles make fights. You're known as somebody that can, you know, power puncher. He's known as somebody with that IQ, with the power punching. A fight between you two, an exciting fight, a fight that you hope to get done at cruiserweight division?
I heard speculation he wants to go to heavyweight as well.
A lot of people saying that. It's money up there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
So you
but
probably leave anyway.
yeah, I think the way it would end up if he continues to do what he's doing, and I do it, we will eventually meet somewhere. I don't know whether that's cruiserweight, whether that's heavyweight. You know, I might get a big money opportunity to go to heavyweight, and I might just stick there. Who knows? I don't know how things will pan out, and the way the game changes, like there's no security in anything. Like I signed to fight Cody. Last thing I heard the other day is Cody's gone up a weight. So, things just change. Things chop and change, and you just have to adapt to whatever's there at the time. And there's also other people that would probably want to come to cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So you just never know. Like everybody's talking about a fight with me and Jay Apataya, but if I go to heavyweight, then everything changes. So we have to just wait and see. Everything is influenced by money, the dollars, So the fans, if you lot are paying, you're gonna get what you want. It's that simple.
Do you think boxing is kind of like, I'm not saying that people were fighting for free back in the day, but do you think it's lost its morality where it's literally now, it's all about the dough? Listen, you have to be compensated for what you're doing. I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying you ought to put a ceiling on your worth, but I'm saying is the motivation for the boxing now, it's like I'm not even really hearing people talk about belts anymore. It's like the trinkets of the sport, the gold, all of the marbles. We don't hear that now. It's just all money.
That's because they've made it about money. Okay. Every single time I look on the internet, go online, everybody's a champion. Everybody has a belt. The fans don't know the difference between one belt to another belt. They all look the same. Is this guy champion? One guy with a regional belt looks exactly the same as the world title belt, but it's created with different materials. They will go and say to a random fan, hey, this is me, I'm champion. They don't know what champion even means. Did you know there's regional champions, there's national champions, there's world champions? They don't know the difference. When they hold the belt and say, look, I'm a champion, that's it. In their mind, they're like, this is the ultimate champion, and bang, and they're running with it. So in their minds, they're already perceiving them as the ultimate world champion, for example. So it's getting confusing. It's getting really, really, really confusing, and it's getting probably ridiculous now. And now, I think for the obviously for the proper boxing heads, they would know the difference and stuff like that, and they're supporting. But if you want to go to the next level, it's to get the casual fans and having them understand. But for them to really understand, a lot of belts need to be taken away. You know what I'm saying? And there needs to be just a couple people with one of those belts, and everybody coveting, getting one of those, and that's how things will change. So probably obviously it makes sense. They're getting their money from the belts and stuff with the sanction fees and stuff. And obviously the boxers want. What do you think we jump in the ring for? Like just to on some macho man thing? No, this is a job. This is just like the way you go to work and you get paid. We do the same, and we get opportunities where we can make more money or less money. And if we have an opportunity of making more money without a belt, we really have to sit down and weigh everything up.
Evaluate it.
We have to. You know what I'm saying? Because any fight could be your last fight. And the worst thing you can be in a situation where you had one fight, and then all you got to do is tell a story about how you fought one solid champion and you won the fight, and your kids or your grandkids ask you, like, Dad, I wanna buy this, or let's just say I want to jump on this course and stuff, and you can't provide the funds for you to do that. But if you took the other fight, which is probably not for the other, not for the belt and stuff like that, you could have done that. If you took it for the money, you could have been able to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we have to really think about things at the same time. So I guess it's like we have to weigh everything up at the same time. With me, I'm not all one way. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm a prize fighter. If I get an opportunity which makes more sense for me and my family, and of course I'm gonna take it. You know, I got a son, I got family, I got people to look after. People rely on me. You feel me?
No, I hear that, and I think that's the first time you've mentioned that you've got a son. Obviously, I know you've got a son. I'm always blabbing that I'm a mum, but I get it. It gets to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, it's nice to have that status. It's nice to have the belt. But I will agree with you, there is confusion because there's so many different ones now.
Yeah,
And you can also become a paper champion where you haven't necessarily earned it. Yeah.
Email champion. I don't mind becoming an email champ though. It's joking.
I think you'd like to do the graph for it. So when you look at the evolution of boxing from when you've been in it and to how it's going now and how it's changing all the time, how do you stay relevant? Because I mean, activity I would suggest is one of them, but sometimes you dip for that because sometimes it's like, yep, he's active, he's fighting, he's this, and then it's like he's gone quiet. How do you stay relevant?
Well, to stay relevant is it kind of gets difficult sometimes because let's just say, for example, imagine the broadcaster signed so many fighters. When they got so many fighters, they have to get all of these fighters into the rings, and obviously people are going to get prioritized because maybe they have like certain routes for them or certain plans for them, and there's certain people that are ready to fight. They don't just get the opportunity, so they have no control or power over being relevant in regards to actually fighting, but they can do things outside the ring. And obviously you can only do so much outside the ring, but you can also do a lot, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, let's just say, okay, you can posting videos of you training and stuff like that on, or maybe delve into this kind of celebrity type of look. And
yeah.
But some people, it's not them. You know what I'm saying? It's some people naturally do that, and some people it's a kind of manufactured type of element within them. So they cannot do it for too long. I guess they can't maintain it. So yeah, you have to kind of be true to yourself in a sense. But yeah, it's hard. Like for example, look at the PBC fighters. There's fighters that haven't fought for years.
Oh, insane.
They're big. They're good, big fighters. I remember all of their names. You know what I mean? And they haven't fought for years. They're just sitting down, and they probably have to cut down on everything. They're spending the expenditure, everything. Is it their fault? Maybe to some extent, but I know for a fact they definitely want to fight. They definitely want to be relevant. They're probably training now, so you can only do what you can do. But me, I'm blessed. I'm in a good position. Obviously, once you get opportunities, and once you're making a certain amount of money, these promoters are not willing to just keep on dashing a whole bag of money unless you're in some certain fight, and then when you get into the certain fights, it's like, okay, are you willing to risk your position to fight for a world title and give this other person an opportunity just to stay relevant, when that could literally be the reason why you don't even get the opportunity in the first place? Let's say to challenge for a certain belt, whether it's European, whether it's British, whether it's the world. So you have to really weigh everything up. Because let's just say if you're getting a big bag to fight for a world title fight or a European title fight, and you can do a stay active fight, then you get cut in the fight. That's everything, and you lose the fight. Who's to blame? Who's be to blame? Because it's not. You know, I think everybody talks like, yeah, you know, winning is guaranteed. The reality is it's not. There's no security in anything. Jump in the ring, anything can happen. Absolutely anything happen. I've seen the craziest things happen in boxing. So you have to be smart. You have to have a smart team, people that know what they're doing, matchmakers. It all plays a part. And then when you get to the stage when you can jump into certain fights where there's no guarantee at all that you're gonna win, it's like 50-50s, then you know it's risk. But for the risk, there's going to be a big reward, regardless of the outcome.
I like your way of thinking, and we talk about risk and reward. Your former gym mate, Anthony Joshua, is fighting Francis Ngannou on Friday.
Yeah.
A fight that I might not have, and correct me if I'm wrong, your point of view, I might not have batted two eyelids at this fight, unless the fight had the outcome it did with Tyson Fury. And I'm not on about the result, I'm on about the actual fight itself. So you see Anthony Joshua now being part of the circus that he never wanted to be part of, out there in Saudi taking pictures with His Excellency and Tyson Fury. They're all together singing hymns. How do you see that fight going with him and Ngannou, and why? Because I know you're quite analytical.
I think it can go either way. It can go either way. This guy jumped in the ring with Tyson Fury, supposedly the best heavyweight boxer in the world right now.
WBC champion.
And, you know, he put in a great performance. You know, he was more than competitive. He dropped the guy. A lot of people believe that Ngannou won the fight. So now he's going against supposedly the second best, you know, in a lot of people's eyes, heavyweight in the best heavyweight in the world. And if he can compete with the best, then he definitely can compete with the second best. That's a straight fact. And I think he could anything can happen. You know, when a boxer's got a hard punch, and you're going rounds, some people tend to switch off. A lot of people switch off, and it just takes one, which is what happened with Fury. Yeah. It takes one, and he was on the floor. He's on a canvas. You know, it's going to be tough because he's actually physically tough. He's physically tough. Plus, he come from the pavement. He come from the mud. That's going to make it even double tough. So you're physically tough. You can punch, and you come from the mud. This guy come from like a really tough background, which has forged him to fight the way he does. It's a hard fight. It's a hard fight. And on paper, everybody would say, yeah, Joshua. But the reality is, and even Joshua knows, he cannot take that guy lightly. No way. And plus, it's even more dangerous because it's triple dangerous, because he has nothing to lose. This is not his game. He's coming to participate and get his check, and then he's going back to enemy. In fact, he's got his MMA fight lined up now. All he needs to do is put on a good performance. And unfortunately for Joshua, he's in a position where if he puts on his best performance, people are going to be like, you're supposed to do that. You don't get no credibility for that. He would probably get more credibility from losing to a great fighter and get more fans than beating and knocking out Ngannou. But at the same time, he's getting a check. So when you're getting a check, you know, that's what he's doing it for. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's doing for. He sees the opportunity, and you can't blame him. All of us are going to jump in the ring for those type of checks. Come on. You know, I was thinking, like, I always have this conversation with Frazier and Angel. I'm like, okay, you got a grizzly bear, a chimpanzee, or a baboon. The grizzly bear has his nails cut, so he can't maul you, and he has a muzzle on. And the rest of the animals, which one can you take? The grizzly bear weighs around 220 pounds, 220. Which one would you fight? And when I ask everybody always says
the one with the muzzle on.
They always say the grizzly bear. Someone crazy said the baboon. My SSC, I was like, that would actually rip you apart, literally. That's not a good idea, my friend. And we took gorillas out there because there's no way we're gonna fight a gorilla. They're gonna treat you like a basketball. So, but yeah, I reckon I can take a grizzly bear. No, I'm being serious. Grizzly bear, they seem a bit docile as well. So I think it'll be a bit work out. There'll probably be no point of punching the body. But yeah, just go for the head a bit. Move, bob and weave. Once he tries to give me in a bear hug, I know how to sprawl. I've done a few wrestling sessions. Sprawl, quickly get back. I need to be fit, I need to have stamina, and I need to do some weights. And I promise you, I'll win. And Frazier said...
Ngannou's the grizzly bear, is that what you're saying?
No, you know what? I'm going off in a tangent. This is just a debate. But anyway, Ngannou can be the grizzly bear in the fight, for sure.
When you look, because I'm looking at it as from like skills Like the claws, the mouth is what you'd say is like that basic raw talent.
Yeah.
If you muzzle it, like you're putting him in a boxing ring, that's what I'm saying. People would say, oh, but it's not a risk. But if he gets you, you're flattened.
Exactly. So in that case, if the bear gets on top of me and I get tired and puts his weight on me, then I'll be probably in trouble. I'm going to fatigue. But anyway, bringing it back to Joshua. With Joshua now,
Yeah.
he doesn't get anything for him winning.
Carl Froch said it. Carl Froch said it. He said it's a lose-lose, but I think Carl Froch has been slated on the internet for saying it. However, you've just literally broke down probably exactly what Carl Froch has said.
It's true. But when you're getting 50M, you know, I'm seeing that from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Am I going to jump in a ring with a gorilla for 50M? Absolutely not. Because I value my life. I value my life and my health. But for a grizzly bear with a muzzle on, it's for 220 pounds, 200 to 220
I'm
pounds.
taking a risk.
I'm going to fight you. And I'm going to win.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.